This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL-TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Just randomly rocked up in a hotel today in his Kentucky Fried Chicken coat on. All right, mate, Dave Allen?
Yeah, not bad, thank you. Yeah, we made plans to come to the Newcastle show midweek. Thanks to Matchroom for the sorting that out, and we're here now. Yeah, it's just come to see you and Darren and that really, and have my time and come to watch some good boxing. So looking forward to it.
We'll talk about the show in just a little bit, but in other news, I haven't really kind of spoken to you properly about your pending comeback at the end of August. So, yeah, a big decision for you to make a return to the ring. So I just wanted you to kind of talk me through the process of why you're doing that.
Well, I was happily retired, I guess. I've not boxed for 18 months, and I said I wasn't going to box in November, so that's around 7-8 months ago. And after around 6 months, I managed a few fighters, and I was looking at where there was going to box, and there wasn't many opportunities really. You know, Eddie got Levi Kinson on this bill tonight. That fell through. His opponent pulled out. But apart from that, there's not been anything at all, and there's not many small shows. So I saw the whole Fight Zone thing taking off, and the Fight Zone shows in Sheffield are great. And I thought, is that a possibility? So I made a few inquiries, and it was possible. But with me returning on boxing on these shows, it made sense, because I got a deal where if I box, 2 of the lads I manage and train, they get to fight on the shows as well. So I sorted everything out, and I agreed that I would come back. You know, on the premise that I would come back on my own terms against opponents of my own choosing, and I guess it'll be a fight by fight basis on how I feel, and I guess how the public feel about my performances and the opposition and whatever else. So we'll just take it one at a time.
So from what I read from what you just said there, are you saying part of the reason why you're coming back to box is so that you can get opportunities for some of the fighters you manage to box on a show? Because if that is part of the reason, that really shouldn't be a reason for you to come back, surely, should it?
Well, that is the main reason. People say financially you come back for the money. There is no money involved. If I wanted any money, I'd have rung Eddie up and said, Eddie, put me in with Babbage or Warded. I could have got probably 100 times more than I would get for a 6 round on them shows. It ain't about the money. There ain't no money in the job. The fighters I train and manage, I do it for no fee. I take 0 penny off any fighter I train or manage. It ain't a financial thing. You see, I want to see him do well. A lot of them are my friends, and I want to see him do well. So the number one reason I've come back is for them to box, their opportunity. Number 2, I want to box. I love boxing. I love to box. I don't know what's left. That's why I say it's a fight by fight basis, and hopefully, I'm hoping people. I tend to think, I used to say to Eddie all the time when he used to put me in with certain fighters, I said, Ed, I genuinely think people would watch me box in fights where I will win, and they kind of know I'm going to win, but they're kind of going to come out and support me regardless. So I'm hoping that will be the case, and that will enable me to see my career out, having some winning and enjoying it, and people coming out and supporting, and if that's not the case, and people say, well, I'm not happy with Dave boxing him, or this is not as entertaining as I hoped, or whatever else, then it stops. But I'm not coming back thinking I want to win a world title or try and get anywhere near that, because I'm not. I'm coming back to enjoying my boxing again, probably for the first time. It's the first time I've really enjoyed my training, because there's not much pressure on. I never really handled the pressure very well when I was boxing. And now I'm a bit older, I can see that because I didn't handle that pressure, I always found excuses to not do it. So I'm enjoying my training at the minute. I'm in better condition now than I was for half my fights, and we'll just see how it goes. It's going to be on a fight by fight basis because of all them things, you know, considering the opponents I will face, considering whether the public backlash on the opponents I face, or how I perform. So we'll just go from there. But At the minute, the plan is August 27th, and move on from there.
The order in which you listed your 2 reasons you gave, that first you want to give opportunity to the lads you're fighting, secondly you want to box, shouldn't it really be the other way around? Shouldn't your real reason for wanting to come back is because you want to, and if you can get something off the back of that involves fighters you manage, then that's surely just regarded as a bonus more to it?
Well, not for me really, because at the minute my life centres on the people that I do train and manage. That is my enjoyment. That is what I like to do. That is what I do. Six of my hours a day are spent training the fighters that I train. Some of them are amateurs, some are professionals, and that's my enjoyment. That's my main thing. That's my main thing at the moment. That's what I do. So that is very important. That is very, very important to me, and that is the number one. I take it very seriously when I was a boxer myself. I never really took my own health too importantly. I think mainly because I'm 29 now. I can't believe I'm 29. I remember sitting in here when I was 21, having my 5th and 6th professional fights. And I thought, I'll never be 29 ever. I'm not going to see 29. It's ages away. I'm 29 now, and I wish I'd have took myself more seriously. So when these fighters sign these contracts, and I'm their manager, and I'm training them, it's pivotal and vital that I take that role very seriously. And I wish I'd have took it more seriously with myself. So no, it's very important, and if they're going to put their trust in me for me to do my best for them, then I will do that 100%. So, and I do want to box, but again, like I said, it's got to be at the right level. I said 7 months ago, I don't think there was anything left. And you know, if you're talking at the time, I was being linked with beating Lovejoy and fighting. You know what I mean? Fighting at a high level. Do I think I can compete at that high level? Could I ever compete at that high level? I'm not sure I ever could have, but I don't think I could now. But I can box. I can still box. You know what I mean? I can still box 4, 6, 8 round level. Of course I can still box. Not compete, but I think that's where I'm at right now, and I think that's what I want to do. So as long as it's healthy for me to do so, and as long as people are wanting to watch, that's what I'll do. But it's all dependent on them things.
When you initially announced your retirement from the sport, however many months ago, some of the reasons you gave to why you were doing that were a little bit, I suppose, concerning, listening to them. So those issues that centre around your mental health, etc., are you saying that you're not in that place, or you're completely out of that place now for you to make this decision?
Well, I don't think I'm ever going to be. Well, it's what's normal, but I'm never going to be completely fine. Do you know what I mean? I don't think any of us ever are. But boxing for me before, when I was a professional boxer, and I was at the top of my game, shall we say, at the top of my game, not the top of the game, but the top of my game. I couldn't handle the pressures and the stresses of it all. I couldn't handle it. I went from no one knowing who I was to literally 2 years later headlining the O2 and making a lot of money and boxing David Price, and I just, the David Price fight, I still believe now is one I should have won, but I couldn't handle the pressure. I left London 6 weeks before the fight, and I was only seen twice before fight week. I disappeared completely. I couldn't handle it. And if that chance came around again, could I handle it again? Probably not, because that's just my makeup. But I can come back, I can fight on these shows in Sheffield, and entertain. I think I'm a boxer. I'm a fighter. I can fight. I could fight for definite, but I like to entertain, and I think I can still do that. And I feel like that's my role. That's my role, really. That's what I'm about. I think I'm more of an entertainer than a boxer, even though I could fight, and I don't like when people say that. I would hate for someone to say about me he was an entertainer, he was not a boxer. But I can say it myself because that's what I've always prided myself on, and I've had some bad fights in my time as well. But I do pride myself that I do provide entertainment. I think I can still do that, even boxing at a lower level.
You said there that you're going to do this on a fight-by-fight basis. But I'm assuming this isn't just about you winning these fights. It's about kind of how you feel. You've got to obviously assess kind of what level of opposition that you're going to fight in these fights, and there might be one, there might be four, we don't know yet. But it's not just a case of if you just keep winning the fights. I'm assuming there's a lot more to whether you kind of continue with your career in that way.
Well, I mean, the first fight back, you're looking at like Phil Williams, Phil Williams type of opponent, and then you have another one, and you step up a tiny level again, another level again. So if I lose to a Phil Williams kind of a level opponent, I'm finished, aren't I? What's the point in me boxing? I don't want to be a journeyman boxing every week. So that's it, it's done. If I have 4 or 5 fights and I start feeling well, I'm not. I promise people watching, I'm not then going to go, you know what? That's it. We're back to the O2, because I'm realistic. I've matured a lot, and I'm not going to say, oh, we're going to do this and that. If I can win 4 or 5 fights and start to up the levels, and the British title shot is around, then absolutely, you'd probably take your chances. But that's a million miles away, and that's not even something I'm thinking about right now. My current plans are, I've got Stevie Levy fighting on the 25th of June on the Fight Zone show. Levi Kincione needs his fight that was on tonight, rescheduling. The amateur boxing season starts in September. I'm fighting August 27th. And that's all I'm thinking about. I'm not thinking about 6-12 months away. I'm just thinking about the near future in there. And I've never been happier than myself. I'm doing the punditry, the commentary for Fight Zone. I'm busy. I'm really busy and proactive with everything that I'm doing. So I've not really had time to be feeling any other way than busy, really. So everything's going really well, and hopefully people that supported me before will get behind me doing what I'm doing now.
When you look at the current kind of domestic scene here, obviously on this bill here tonight, there's Solomon Dakers, who makes his second professional fight. Got Alan Babbage on the bill, who you in the past have been linked with a fight with. And then even outside that, guys like Nick Webb, who had a good win over Pfeiffer in Gibraltar. These guys here, all these guys here who you fought Nick Webb, but is it about kind of getting back to that kind of level, or could you compete at that level after a couple of fights?
I beat Nick Webb with my eyes shut now, today, to be honest. I beat Nick Webb I beat him in 2018, and I had concussion. Couldn't see out of one eye till about 3 days before the fight. I'd not trained for 6 months, and I still battered him. So it's not about them levels. That's easy work, innit? I beat him 10 times out of 10. And when people ask me questions like that, I'm quite a competitive man, and I look back at my career. I spoke to my old man, and he was like, "You've done everything at 30%. He goes, "You beat Lucas Brown at about 50%, Nick Webb at 30%. I said, well, you know what? It might be 30% of my physical capabilities, yeah, but that's 100% of what I was capable of at the time, because that's what I was. Whatever I turn up at, that's 100% of me at that time. Whether I've not been in the gym or not, that's 100% of me at that time. So I don't look and think, oh, I could have done this, could have done that. I beat Nick Webb with my eyes shut tomorrow. He's useless. And I shouldn't say that, really, because he's one of my best wins, but he's absolutely useless. That Pfeiffer must have been terrible. But like Babbage and that, Babbage is a very good fighter. I've got a lot of respect for Alan Babbage as well, because he's good, he's a lot better than people think. And Nick Webb's not bad, really. I just like giving him shit. But all of them, Solomon Dakers is a good fighter on the GB squad. They're all good, and I do think I had a lot of boxing ability, and if you ask me if they come outside now on this piece of grass, I'd fancy my chances with all of them. But that's just my nature anyway. So I don't know. I wish them all the best of luck.
Sorry, Dave. I only asked you that question because it seems to be, without you listing me kind of a hit list of opponents, if you had 4 fights, who would they be? I'm assuming, say you had 4 fights and you got in your mind who those 4 fighters are, I'm assuming we're not talking about guys like who we've just been mentioning there. So that's why I asked whether it's about kind of getting back to kind of where you was.
I beat Nick Webb tomorrow, and I beat him today, tomorrow, next week, last week, 6 months ago. I honestly think people. I see a lot of people there. Like I say, oh, Dave Allen's no good. Dave Allen beat Nick Webb when he was 12-0. Prospect coming through. I beat him You were with me. I think you was with me that fight week. I was eating everything I could get my hands on that week. I didn't go to bed till 5 o'clock and I woke up at 7. He's useless. Terrible. I've boxed Nick Webber again. I boxed him in a 4-rounder as a warm-up. He can be the first fight back. It's terrible. But I never watch. No.
Did you not consider doing some kind of exhibition type contest?
I was meant to go to Africa in January and box Flo Simba over 6 rounds. They were offering me loads of money and all, but it never came off. But yeah, at the minute people say, "Oh, Dave Allen must be skint coming back." Look, what I've agreed to with Fight Zone, I make more money. I make more money doing. I can make more money doing all. There's no money in it really. There's no money in it. I don't see it as money at all. There's not any money in it. If I do 3-4 rounders, I could make more money in a 4-rounder with Eddie. Do you know what I mean? So it's not about that. It's about what Dennis is creating there. I want to be a part of it. The Fight Zone thing. I like the whole what they're doing there. I like it. I could have rung Eddie easy and come back and got 100 grand boxing Babbage or something, or win a few fights and make double that boxing Wardley or something. But I'm not going to get banjo by them two, which I would currently. For any amount of money, if you give me £1 million, I'm not laying on my back for anybody in the world. I'm not interested. Give me £1 million now, I'm not laying on my back here for nobody. So,
I think anyone sensible out there can kind of tell that this comeback of yours isn't driven by financial aspects. I think that's kind of clear to see. You know, it's just interesting to listen to why specifically you've decided to do it then, because you're right, you could have taken another avenue and been in one of these fights with, you said, like the people you mentioned, even a Nick Webb rematch, even Babbage or Waldy, one of these guys, you could have easily have kind of had a couple of fights and gone into one of them. So I think it's very clear to see that your reasons for coming back are not based on financial aspects.
Yeah, I'm doing the commentary, the punditry and the reporting stuff for Fight Zone as well, and I'm enjoying that. There's loads of different things. This boxing comeback, people say, "Oh, you're coming back." I'm not even looking at August 27th. All I'm doing now is getting fit and training. In about 3 or 4 weeks, I'll do a bit of sparring, and then I'll box. I've been really busy. I've genuinely been busy. This has been the best 6 months since I retired from boxing. The best 6 months of my life where I've been proactive. I've got things done, and it's been nice not to be David Allen in the box. I've been David Allen, like, I don't want to say a businessman because I'll never be a businessman, but like David Allen, the man who does business. So things have been going really well, and the boxing will be what it'll be. If I come back, have 3 or 4 fights and feel good, and Nick Webb's still chirping up, I might knock him out again. But if he's not, then we'll see what happens. But it's interesting, and it's a good domestic scene. And I include Alan Babbage kind of in the domestic scene because he fights over here. That's where he has his fights. So, you know, Babbage, Wardley, you know, Dubois, Gorman. It's just a great mix, and I only wish I would have looked after my body and stuff better at a younger age. I'd be coming into my prime now, and I think I'd have been in that mix. But everything works out for a reason, and you'll see me doing a 4-round on August 27th on Fight Zone, and I'll be the happiest man in the world doing that. So yeah, I can only hope that people will support it, whether they choose to or not. That's I can't make the mind up for them, so we'll have to see what happens.
Okay, I'm just going to fire off some random boxing subjects and just give your opinion if you've been following. I don't even know if you've been following kind of what's been happening on the boxing scene. Usually we do talk to you about stuff kind of unrelated to yourself. So first of all, the collapse of AJ and Fury.
Well, I was the only man that said this fight won't happen. Can you remember? Told everyone.
Derek Chisora said it wouldn't happen as well.
I remember him telling me that it would happen on a JD live. But anyway, I said it wouldn't happen. I knew it wouldn't happen. I don't think it'll ever happen. One of them will get beat in the next fight. Usyk or Wilder will win. That's what I think. I don't think it will ever happen, ever. And it's a shame, but as I get older, I find myself caring less about everyone else's business because it means fuck all to me. Unless they want to give me some of the money, what do I care? So, as a boxing fan, yeah, I wish it'd happen, but I don't think it ever will.
Fury Wilder 3 going to be announced next week. A more dangerous fight this time round for Tyson Fury, is it?
It's dangerous every time. Wilder's dangerous every time. He's a dangerous man. He can punch. I don't buy into this Malik Scott's turning him into some master boxer, but Wilder's always dangerous. He's fit. He can punch. I think it's an hard fight, and I don't know. Just the way the world works. Everything's been going on, and I watched the John Fury interview. I found that very interesting, and I don't know. I wouldn't say I worry for him, but I think it's a very dangerous fight for him.
Joshua Alexander Usyk.
Yeah, I think that's a tremendous fight as well. I think Joshua's the favourite. You know, he's the naturally much bigger man, but Usyk can box, and he can punch a bit as well. Yeah, so, he can punch a bit as well. No, it's a really interesting fight, and for me, Joshua Wilder, Fury Wilder 3. For me, I'm very interested about that fight. We've seen it twice. I'm still interested about it, but Joshua Usyk for me is a super fight though. Super fight. It's not quite Joshua Fury, but it ain't far behind for me. I think it's an absolutely brilliant fight. And with Joshua, I've got to give him all the credit in the world. He was signed up to fight Fury, up for the job. That's off, and he's up for the Usyk job straight off the back of that. So, you know, people don't think I like him, but I've got all the respect in the world for him. You know, time after time, he takes the biggest challenges. So I have to respect him for that.
Mayweather-Logan Paul.
You know what? I haven't watched it. You know, I don't even watch it, but I don't knock him for it. I just think if Mayweather's like, if he's just proudly telling everyone that he's robbing him with the money, I wouldn't do that. You know, I wouldn't do that. But I didn't watch it. I did a Sky Sports News interview about it, and I had to pretend that I was going to watch it, and I didn't watch it anyway. They paid me to sell the fight, and I didn't sell it. I did an awful job of selling it, and then I didn't watch it anyway. But yeah, it's just a load of bollocks, isn't it? But
what about Jake Paul and Tyrone Woodley?
Yeah, I'm interested in that. I'm interested in that. Yeah, the same way I'm interested in April Hunter and the woman that she's boxing, a good 4-rounder. You know, you got a good prospect there. Obviously, Claudia V 327 is not quite Tyrone Woodley, but do you know what I mean though? Like Jake Paul, for me, I look at him and I think he's not a bad little prospect. I've been quite impressed by him. He's good. I guess the April Hunter, he's a bit different, obviously. But like, he's a prospect. Jake Paul for me, he's a prospect. He's not bad. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, the comparison with Tyrone Woodley and the Hungarian woman is a bit off. But it's I'm interested. I won't watch it. Anything that happens after 11 a.m. now, I miss it because I'm asleep. But it's intriguing. Yeah, I think I met Woodley, but I didn't know Woodley was Woodley at the time. Yeah, I went, yeah, right, mate. Obviously, he was a superstar, isn't he? But yeah, I hope Jake Paul wins. I would love Jake Paul to keep winning. I would love to see him keep winning. Yeah, I'd love it.
Yeah, there's part of me that echoes those thoughts as well. Okay, well, I'm going to let you go because you came to the wrong hotel. So go and get sorted out, and we'll see you a little bit later at the arena. So there's 1,000 fans in there tonight. It's going to feel a little bit like how boxing should be. Have you got anything else you'd like to add before we finish?
Just want to say thanks, KUGAN, for well, not thank you, but it's nice to see you, and just hello everyone. Hope everyone's all right. Been a while, but yeah, I'm going to go and check in. We're going to go to the hotel now.
Dave Allen, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV. We'll look forward to tonight, and yeah, who knows if might even grab a word with you again later on.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.